Hello and welcome to another episode of Rustic Spirit podcast. We unfortunately our guest tonight. I am Stacey Leigh.
Gary Lee.
Our guest tonight had a minor emergency. It was VikingCat Paranormal, and they had to cancel at the last minute. We're going to reschedule and get them back on the show, but we also got a last minute surprise guest that is going to join us shortly. So while we're waiting for them to come on, we're just going to chat a little bit. And I wanted to kind of do my thing that I always do and talk about my sponsors. So here we go. We have our t-shirts and our hoodies still available. And we have so many different designs. And I'm working on some new designs that aren't brand related. So be on the lookout for those. I have some pretty interesting thoughts and funny things that I want to put on t-shirts. So we still have those. And this is our upcoming events. And next weekend, I will be at the New Jersey Psychic Fair. The weekend after that is the WPA Cryptid and Supernatural Expo. That is going to be so much fun. I'm really excited about that. The weekend after that, I'm here in my hometown at the Albatwitch Festival in Columbia. And they are actually doing a trolley tour that is going to go through the Chickies Rock, and I don't know everywhere, but it's like a little tour of the history of the area and some of the tragedies that happened there. And then October 18th, 19th, and 20th will be same here in our hometown. So I actually get to sleep in my own bed for 2 weeks in a row. And we will be at the Central PA Tattoo and Horror Expo. So this is the WPA Cryptid Supernatural Expo that's happening. It's from 10 to 6. It is in Johnstown, PA at the Masonic Temple. Please come out. There's some great speakers. I have that way too small. Mountain Monsters is going to be there. Guys from Mountain Monsters, and I'm going to get really close to the screen so I can actually see Gwendolyn Purcell, Bill Rigsby. Can't read the rest, but maybe you could zoom in and you could read it. I have no idea. Can you read that? What's that top one say? Right there.
Bump in the Night Society.
Bump in the Night Society. Oh, that's awesome. And then Fred Salvage. Is that what that says?
Yeah, it looks like it.
But anyway, this is on my my page. You can check it out there. It is going to be a great event. And then this was going to be our guest tonight, VikingCat Paranormal. And they are just amazing people, are doing amazing things. Please go over and check out their Facebook page. If you just put in VikingCat Paranormal, you should be able to find them. They are like, I have talked to Brian and set this up. He was so apologetic for not being on tonight. He just kept saying like, I'm so sorry. I got people coming out and I'm so sorry. So we wanted to thank all of you that showed up tonight for him and VikingCat, and they will be back. We will have them on. So let's see who we have here. Damien. Good morning, Damien. Good morning. We have Damien here in the chat. Nice to see you. If you're in the chat, just give us a hey, give us a hello. Let us know you're here. And then we're going on a different night. So I don't know how audience is going to be. So we're on a different night. We'll see how this goes tonight. I don't like Wednesday nights. It's crazy here in my house, but we will see how it goes. And our special guest. Okay, if anybody's in the chat and they want to guess who our special guest is tonight, let's see if anybody can guess while we're waiting for them to come on. So, charging your crystals with the full moon. Yes, we just had a full moon. Nicole. Hi, Nicole. You are amazing as well. Nicole may know who our special guest is, so that is why she's not commenting. Okay. We don't have many in the chat right now, so we'll see as the night goes on. We are a little earlier and on a different night. If our guest can just give me a nod and let me know you're ready. Okay. So without further ado, we have someone who's been on our show in the past, has his own podcast, and has to take a little break right now, but I think he misses being on screen and graciously agreed to come join us tonight. So we are welcoming Russ Steiger. Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Russ.
Hey, Gary. Hey, Stacey. How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Good. A little off-centered. Like, we drove 12 hours yesterday.
It's that full moon energy, I'm telling you.
And I had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to work.
Oh, okay, Gary. I feel bad for you. I'm sorry.
No, you don't.
Yes, actually, I do, because I was actually going to work 5 hours today on my day off. So
I know, but your day off. What were you doing?
I was walking around our plaza that we're located in and handing out coupons to all the stores in our plaza, trying to drum up business.
I can understand that.
And I did that all on my own. I did that 100%. That was my idea, and I went ahead and went with it. And I tell you what, the people that were in the plaza that we're located in, there's probably about 30 or 40 stores in the plaza we're in, and they didn't even know we were there.
Oh, wow.
And we've been open for, let's see here, what is today? The 18th? We have been open for a month and 16 days.
And they didn't even know you were in the plaza. Like, I'm one that, like, I see them all. Like, I just, like, spot them out as I'm driving down the road. But obviously not everybody does that. Shauna says he's a superhuman. I'm not sure if she's talking about you or Gary. Maybe both.
She's probably talking about Gary more than me, but I mean,
no.
I think she's talking about you more than me.
No, it's one of those things that just, it's we don't even have a road sign yet. Like,
you're more in a small town, aren't you?
Not really. Hanover, where I am in Massachusetts, it's a pretty big town.
Okay.
It's a wealthy town, that's for sure. I've seen more Teslas than I'd like to admit. But it's we're in a plaza. We're in an old Trader Joe's in an old Trader Joe's grocery shop.
Okay.
And it's one of those things where I still have people walking into my store and like look around going, where's Trader Joe's? And they literally moved right across the parking lot from us. So like you can literally see Trader Joe's sign from our store.
Yeah, if you have a Trader Joe's in your neighborhood, it's definitely a wealthy neighborhood. So Danielle said, yes, both of you are superhumans.
Yeah,
so she is a superhuman as well. Like
she
works.
She definitely
is. So we have Danielle Stitch or Danielle. I read the name Danielle. It's Jean Stitch watching, and Ariel. How are you, Ariel?
Ariel Grata.
I love her.
How you doing, Ariel?
Her.
Yeah.
Yes. That's Gary's other girlfriend.
He calls me. She says that's my other wife.
That's his other wife.
Well, Kevin McIntyre's my other hall pass, since I got a lap dance from him at Gettysburg. So, I mean,
yeah, I think we have that on video as well.
Video, picture, and more than I'd like to admit.
I know. Gary got one from Santiago. So
yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You guys,
and I'm
the
so
guys
excited.
got more lap dances than the women did.
And I am so excited. We're going to recreate that, Gary, next year at the Maine Paranormal and Horror Convention up in Maine. We're going to recreate that at the lake house.
Wait.
Santiago is staying at the lake house.
No, we're not recreating that.
Absolutely. Who wants to see that again, or not see it, but like at least see a video?
I will do Facebook Live, because I went Facebook Live shaving my head, beard, and legs.
Okay. And unfortunately, Ashley and Jeff cannot watch tonight because they are at a concert, so they can't be on here commenting. But I think they would be totally on board with that. Totally on board with that.
100%.
The scary part is lap dance ain't at the convention. It's at the
lake house.
The lake house. That's
and Santiago has already told me that what happens at the lake house stays at the lake house.
Exactly.
Well, Gary, you should feel more comfortable within a private setting. There's not 1,000 people watching.
Well, there will be if you.
Yeah, there will be.
I mean, fair enough. Fair enough.
I mean, come on, yeah.
So,
all right,
I just went to. What am I doing? I'm messing up. I just went to, as we're talking about that, and I realized my intro video did not have it on there. So I am going to plug the
I think the main horror and paranormal convention in Augusta, Maine.
Yes, I downloaded
on September 6th and 7th.
September 6th and 7th. Hold on, I'm going to try to pull it up here so we can see it. Yeah. Okay, I want to make sure I had the right screen. Oh, now you're seeing a lot of screen.
That's your screen.
Can you see the picture? No. Why can't you see the picture?
You had it up.
Can you see it right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
The Maine Paranormal and HorrorCon, Augusta Civic Center, September 6th and 7th, 2025 of next year. And we have all kinds of amazing celebrities that are coming. CJ Graham, who is, oh wait, something came up. Jason, I think he's from the 6th one, Bob Elmore, Leatherface, Johnny Zappis, Santiago, Ronnie LeBlanc, Alan Danziger. Oh, look, there's someone else on here that I know. Look, is that Russ Stiver?
Russ Stiver?
Oh, wait, wow.
Wow, look.
No, he has hair.
Yeah, this one has hair. He doesn't quite look the same.
No, he has hair.
Yeah. So, and then we have, I do not know how to, Nomar, I don't know how to say his last name.
Slavecki?
Slavecki. And then Sam Bellatrix, Stacey Johnson, and Stacey Leigh. Oh, I don't know who that is. Who's that?
I have no idea who that is. Who was that?
I have no idea.
I have no idea who that person is either.
Yeah, Jeff, who is that? And then Larry, you say Eisler? Is that how you say his last name?
Eisler. Larry Eisler III.
Okay. When I read things, great guy. I know he is great. I've talked to him, but I've never really asked him, hey, how do you pronounce your last name? Chris Gillian, Kevin Thompson, Psychic Medium Chris Brown, Trucker Donnie Green, Mike Stevens, and Danny and Lauren Perez. And more coming. Coming.
Actually, there were like in our group chat today, there were one more announced today. So that'll be a follow-up that Jeff will announce when when he's ready.
All good. Yeah, I think he said soon. He didn't give a date of when he was going to announce that other person. So
I don't. But. Yeah, I'm not going to say a word, but you know,
I thought he said something, but
I thought he did too. But I think he may have just sent the graphic to the group. And look at that. Hi,
Santiago. We were just talking about. So we were talking about recreating the bash with the lap dances at the lake house. Santiago, would you like to jump on and talk to us?
Oh, if you get Santi on,
we're never gonna.
I love me some
he's
Santi.
Just amazing. I do too, and everything he does for mental health. Like as a therapist and as a mental health professional, I and you as well. Like like the things that you do for mental health in your men's group. Like it's just it's amazing. It is amazing. What he's doing.
I'm glad to see a fellow male out there as well as a fellow veteran that is really taking a big stance on men's mental health nonetheless, and nothing offended to the women out there, because I know the women out there also have, mental health struggles and things like that, which I completely get, but men's are often overlooked because men are taught to suppress.
Women. Yes. It's much more accepted for women to go and speak to a therapist and take care of their mental health than it is for men. And we need more of that out there to bring awareness and reduce that stigma of what it is. We all need help. We all feel. Sorry, I'm having this is very bright. I feel like it's very bright in here. We all feel, and we all have emotions, and we all struggle, regardless of your gender. So you do a men's group, right, for mental health?
I do, yes. Yes, Santi. Gary does need another lap dance.
You need another lap dance. What do you say about that one?
Hey, Santi's off right here, so.
You seem to be happy.
Gary.
No, it was Santiago, and it was fun because Santiago and I, we don't know him, a couple years, but we had first time I met Santiago, we had a blast, him and I. And
I got something that'll get you in the mood a little bit.
Oh, ding, ding, ding. Danielle's saying ding, ding, ding. Well, I get to ding the bell now. Gary's got his bell. Yes.
I got something that'll get you in the mood. Don't worry.
And Gary right now, tonight, he's tired. He's sober.
I mean, of course, being up at 4:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm. I know.
I
we
mean,
went to bed at,
after driving your ass all the way down to Kentucky.
Well, yes. Monday night we went to bed at.
Oh, we didn't sleep.
Midnight?
We were gone for 5 days. We started in Moundsville and then went to visit family in Kentucky for my birthday. And it was 5 days of not sleeping, partying.
Yeah. And then the last day, that night, we celebrated her birthday. We went to bed after midnight. She's like, "You're more drunk than I am." I woke up feeling like shit. And I'm like, fuck, man, I got to drive, 12 hours home. You know what I mean?
It was my birthday. I wanted to stay up. And
it was rough for a while.
We met these carnies that were in town setting up a show, because we stay in a hotel. We don't stay with family. We stayed in the hotel. So we met these carnies that were staying in the hotel. And they set up furniture. They do like the furniture setup in green rooms and for celebrities and stuff.
Yeah.
So we were talking to them outside, and they were the coolest creatures ever. And we just started. It was my birthday. It was the night before my birthday.
Fun fact: I used to be a carny.
Like where? What type of carny? Like
I
used at a carnival or? Oh, cool.
I used to set up, tear down, and run rides during carnivals, and we would travel.
That is pretty cool.
It was a fun experience, but like, I love the experience that I had, but I don't miss it at all.
Pamela Berry's Susan, here with us.
Chloe,
hi, Pam.
Hi, Mom.
And Chloe. Hello, guys.
Oh, Danielle, that picture was at the beginning of the night.
Oh, but his eyes were open. So everybody makes fun of Gary because it was not makes fun, but teases Gary about his little squinty eyes by the end of the night. And we were at the bar, and I took a selfie of us. I don't know if I posted it. Yep. I don't think I did. I did. And his eyes are like wide like this. And he's like, I was trying to keep my eyes open.
Oh, trust me.
I sent it to Danielle and Sean, and I'm like, look, his eyes are open.
I saw that progression at Gettysburg with Gary, especially after the wedding. Like I saw like wide-eyed Gary, and then I saw him slowly start to
squinty eye Gary. That's what, literally before we came on the camera here, he's going like going like this and making sure his eyes are open. But I do want to ask, because I made a post tonight, and I was going to ask my other guests this. I'll ask you. One of my favorite spooky. I don't know how to get rid of this comment. Hold on, where is it at? Which one is highlighted? That one. One of my favorite spooky slasher, I guess, movies, more slasher type movies. I'm not talking like the horror or paranormal horror stuff, but the slasher movies is Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay.
And Freddy Krueger. What is your favorite out of all of those? Because we got Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, all of it. Like, what would you say your favorite is? Old school.
Yeah, Christine was pretty good too, back in the day.
Okay, so me being who I am, sorry, I just, everybody out there, I just took a gummy.
He's eating the gummies. His vitamins. It's his vitamins.
But it's keeping me healthy. It's for digestive help. Are we talking about horror icons who have only had one film, or are we talking about ones that have had multiple films?
Pam just put a red balloon up.
But you know what? Pennywise is not a slasher film.
He's not a slasher. That's more of a
psychological,
more spooky psychological thriller. Yes.
Yeah.
So no one really dies.
No.
In that movie. Yeah.
I would say honestly,
that's why I asked. That's why I specified slasher, because I knew you'd say Pennywise, if not, or it. Yeah.
If I'm
talking about
one,
the ones that you normally see Halloween, you got Michael Myers, you got Jason, you got Freddy, you got Scream or Ghostface, you know, all.
Okay, I'm going to throw you off the kilter here with this one. Because it is one of the most underrated and forgotten franchises in the slasher history.
Okay.
Child's Play.
Yeah.
Oh, and Pam's the one here. Child's Play.
Good old Chucky.
His name Chucky. Yes, Chucky is named after. Sorry, this is the only lighter I have. So
Charles Lee Ray was the character it was based off of, which was the made-up serial killer that went to his body in the doll. But yeah, Chucky is, I think, my old school slasher. I would have to go back to Chucky at Child's Play.
I forgot about that. I love Nightmare on Elm Street because it scared the hell out of me because it happens in your dreams. And I do a lot of my premonitions and a lot of my stuff comes in dreams as a kid. So it was very real for me.
Yeah.
Very real for me. But Pam says Terrifier is my favorite.
See, Terrifier, everybody jumped. Terrifier, Art the Clown.
Okay. Gotcha.
I personally know Damien Leone, the director and writer, and I also know David Howard Thornton, the actor who plays Art the Clown. And I enjoy the films, but
I wouldn't consider that old school either. I'm talking like 1980s and 90s.
I would say that Terrifier falls under the impression of a mixture between Hostel and I would say a Friday the 13th because of the brutality of the kills in the films.
Yeah.
So because that's the one thing that like they really tried to do with Terrifier was to take it to that next level of like,
I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna have to watch it.
You think you've seen this before? Guess what? Nope, you haven't.
Okay.
I would suggest watching it. But
Salem's Lot.
Salem's Lot was good.
That was really good.
I will say that Salem. I mean, like Gary said, Christine was good. I mean, you had Maximum Overdrive.
Well, we got someone in here said Poltergeist.
Poltergeist was an amazing film. Which actually the house is actually up for sale right now.
I saw that. I want to buy the Poltergeist house. Oh, that would be so cool.
Did you ever see? You might have seen this, Russ. Not saying it was good or bad. Happy Birthday to Me.
Yes.
You ever see that? That was that was like, yeah.
That like I remember days of, you know, back in the early 90s, early 2000s. I mean, you had films like The Ice Cream Man.
Yeah.
You had films like Dr. Giggles.
Yes. Like these B-rated almost.
But they were so good.
They were. So someone just mentioned Children of the Corn. I forgot about that one.
That's right.
That one is
Children of the Corn that produced like 900 offsprings that needed to be produced, but
yeah, exactly. We lived in a farmhouse once, and behind us was a cornfield, and the neighbor, they had lived there long before we did, and they had like I think at the time, how old was he? He was like 7,
he was
8.
Born there, but
he was born there. He was like 7 or 8, but he said he didn't want him running off in the cornfield, so we always scared him. Is that a train?
A train coming through right now. Yeah, I live right next to train tracks.
Okay, so they scared him and said the corn cracker was in the corn.
Yeah,
and
don't go in the cornfield. The corn cracker will get you.
Okay, so Joanna said Halloween 2. Is one of her favorites. Circuits of the Dead. Has anybody heard of that?
I have. I've seen it.
I have not seen that one.
I love
scary movies.
If we're talking horror movies, Candyman was good. Blair Witch Project was one of the first ever POV movies they released, like first found footage movies they released.
Yes.
Because that's kind of what spawned Paranormal Activity.
Yes.
But if we're going back, you got to look at the classics. You got to look at, even if they're B-rated or anything like that, you got to look at Killer Clowns from Outer Space. You got to look at Killer Tomatoes from Outer Space. Like, you got to look at, all these B-rated, like what they consider B-rated movies, but we're such classics now.
Exactly. Like
The Blob. There you go,
The
Susan.
Blob. I do like The Blob. Candyman. Someone said Candyman. Hellraiser.
Tony Todd and Doug Bradley are two of the nicest guys you will ever meet in your life. I met them at Scarefest one year, and they are
Jeff,
absolutely
where's
amazing.
Jeff? We need to get Hellraiser.
The
Texas
Saw
Chainsaw
movie?
Massacre. The Saw. See, that's not old school. I don't feel like that's old school, but yes.
Yeah,
Saw.
Well,
and Psycho.
Psycho.
Oh, Psycho. Yeah.
Psycho was a good one. I mean, but there's a lot of ones out there, horror movie wise, that are, and this is me coming not from an expertise, but I also worked at Blockbuster for 8 years. So I know all the horror movies. I know all that. I'm a huge horror fan.
You just combine
I'm a horror
huge combining words
I'm
tonight.
just combining words tonight. So this is what happens when I work on a day off. But there's movies out there like there's a movie out there called Session 9, and it is a psychological thriller that actually was filmed at Danvers State Hospital here in Massachusetts.
Oh wow!
Before they tore it down. Great movie. So if anybody out there has never seen it, Session 9, great movie to watch.
I'm gonna write that down.
There's other movies out there that you have your classics, The Shining, you have Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, but there's a lot of movies that get passed over. Slumber Party Massacre Part 2.
Why does that sound like the special channels? the channels you have to pay for.
No, it's not. It was actually a horror movie.
We're getting off track.
Sorry.
Round
my 12-year-old boy brain.
I'm ready to go in. No, but there's a lot out there.
Pennywise.
There we go. There's a lot out there that people don't necessarily explore. On my days off, rarely that I get, I'll toss up a movie I've never heard of that's a horror genre or something and watch it. I mean, I don't care if it's a B movie. I don't, I'll watch it just because I can say I can watch it. But, there's a lot out there, and there are some sleepers out there that are actually really good.
Have you ever saw Cabin in the Woods?
Mm-hmm.
That's, and I think I'm thinking the right one. Is that the one where they're actually controlling what's happening, like from a base?
Correct.
Base
it's like a simulated thing. Yeah.
Simulated. Yeah. That one was weird.
Well, see, that was where you got the whole meme of the guy at the whiteboard going, "Did you have this on your bingo card?"
Yes. Yeah.
That's where you got that.
That's where the whole bingo card thing came from. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Cabin in the Woods was good. What I can't stand these days, though, is how they're legitimately making remakes of remakes of remakes. And it's just like, why? Why are you doing that? Like, it's not even worth it. And me being a horror connoisseur, and HORROR, not the W word. Connoisseur.
And now we were saying it over the weekend. I'm like, horror, because I say it horror. Horror. It sounds like everybody's like, what are you talking about? I was like, horror.
Yes. So don't get that tied up or misconstrued or anything like that. But please, thank you. Say 3 Our Fathers and 7 Hail Marys, and we'll be good.
We've got Wolfman.
The old black and whites. Oh, you can't beat Bela Lugosi, Vincent Price. You can't beat Lon Chaney. You can't beat those guys.
Frankenstein and what was the
No, they are the pioneers.
They are the pioneers.
So House on Haunted Hill. Oh, one of my favorite movies.
I had a friend of mine.
He rolled up like Hail Marys. I want to show that.
I had a friend of mine let me watch these movies. And I think there was 2 of them. I Spit on Your Grave.
Yep, I Spit on Your Grave. Yep.
Did you see them? They were actually...
They were decent.
They were actually pretty good.
They were decent.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think for me, it was more at the end. It was like, yeah, I hope you get them. You know what I mean? It was like, yeah, show them. You know what I mean? But
which one were you talking about?
Susan just said horror. We need to get a clip of you saying that as a meme. The horror.
A clip of me saying it or you saying it? Horror.
I mean, unless you want to do a video clip of me spelling it out and justifying to everybody.
No, Susan's mind goes where mine does, so I know what she's talking about.
Oh, trust me.
Hi, Bonnie. I hope you're feeling great. I hope you're feeling wonderful. How's your pain?
Yeah, I really hope your recovery is going well.
Oh, me. You said you. So me. Okay. So we're gonna do a voice, or I guess a voiceover. What do they call it when they like a voice plug of me saying horror?
Okay, now I'm interested to see what you grabbed.
It's from 1958. It was hanging in a funeral home. Bleeding heart. It has a light. It plugs in. The story behind it.
Terrifying in so many ways.
Well, the story behind it was I was giving my lecture at the West Virginia State Penitentiary Paracon. Okay. And in my lecture, I was talking about protecting your energy and how things, can try to get to you and stuff like that. And I have a story that I don't think I've shared publicly, but I have a story about a graveyard and a Mother Mary statue. But I was talking about how I have this connection with Mother Mary, that I'd grown up as a Catholic and in a rough household. I always had a statue by my bedside, and I would talk to her, and she would talk to all my problems, and I would talk to her. And I'm saying that what I'm telling you right now. Yeah. And I'm saying that to the audience about how I would talk to Mother Mary. I look up, and the vendor right in front of me, I see this. And I'm like, okay, so she's got to go home with me.
So would you call that divine intervention, or would you call that a sign?
Probably a sign. Probably both. I don't know. I mean, can we differentiate?
I mean, I don't know what you need to be intervention from, but
no, I would say it's more of a sign like she's here. I think it would be a sign like she's here. But it came as a set because it's the bleeding heart, and that was the other one. Well, the light isn't very well. Let's see if the light.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
So they actually have the markings on it. 1958 Detroit composition and something company. They're
I'm
metal.
Sorry. I'm about to get myself canceled here. Okay. Real quick and in a hurry.
No, you're not. We're open.
Yeah. Why does that piece look like a transgender Jesus?
I think it's the light. I don't know.
I'm with you with the depictions of Jesus that we see, like if
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend
anybody. I agree.
I am all behind the LGBTQ alphabet community, but like that was my first thought that came to head.
Well, this was supposedly made in 1958.
It was made in 1958, but I can see it. It's the chiseled eyebrows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the details.
It's the jawline. It's
the jawline. Very feminine like features. Yeah.
Does it have a goatee?
Yeah. He has a goatee.
Yeah, that's not Mary.
He's got a jawline. He's got hair coming down his jawline to the front.
I mean, there are some that depict Jesus as a very feminine creature.
What in the Barnum and Bailey is going on right now?
What do you mean, with the Jesus or with the lighting?
I don't even know anymore. Honestly, at this point, I'm lost.
But anyway, the Mother Mary definitely called to me, and I needed her. I needed her. So she came out with me, and they're historic. They're antiqued. They have the date on them. I actually looked them up. I paid like a third of the price that they're actually worth. So I'm not mad.
Deal for you
about my price. So yeah, they're called Sacred Hearts. Yeah.
How about I buy one and you buy the other one?
All right. I'll hang it up.
No. I asked him to split it with me for my birthday as a birthday present.
Oh, Gary, you're now a hubby.
I'll buy one, you buy one. I'm like, okay, love.
Yes.
Thanks, Tara Shea.
Stacey's Reiki sessions are absolutely amazing, and I can't wait for my next one at Gettysburg.
Well, you're gonna wait until Gettysburg? Yeah, I guess I probably won't.
Unless you come to Massachusetts.
Are you coming to Paraunity?
I can't. I gotta work.
Oh, yeah. It is right. That's right at that peak end. Yeah.
We're at teardown at that point, so I can't.
All
I can't
these
get
sales
away.
And yeah.
So I can't get away. I'd love to come. I've actually talked to John and Chris and
what about Steve Dill's Hanover Paracon in January, end of January.
Where is that?
Are you looking at Nicole right now?
No, she's in bed. Where is that? At White Hill?
No, it's Hanover, Virginia. It's about
I ain't going all the way to Virginia.
It's like a 12-hour drive.
It's probably about 2 hours south of Gettysburg. 2 more hours.
Yeah, I'm not going all the way to Virginia.
Okay.
I'm sorry. There are certain places I will drive and I will not drive, but Gettysburg's about the furthest I would drive. Yeah, and that's sad to say because I'm from Ohio. That's a big drive for you.
That's a big drive for you.
It's about a 9-hour drive.
Yeah, what is up with Ohio? Like, I don't go there often, but we drove through Ohio. And we stopped in this, like, we were running out of gas.
How long do you have?
So we were running out of gas, and we stopped, and it said, like, Sunoco or something, I don't know, or Exxon. And all those, I kind of like, I'm not sure if I could trust, but we had to stop. And I had to pee. So we stopped there, and there's, like, it's in the middle of the country. There's nothing around besides this. It said Lakota something or another on the side of the road. It's off of
76, 71.
Going through Columbus, whatever goes through Columbus.
71.
Yeah, 71. So it's off of there, and we're like, well, we got to get gas. So we got gas, and I went in to go to the bathroom. There's no doors. Like, there was bars on the windows, and I'm like, wait, we're not anywhere where there's things happening. Like, there's bars on the windows, like it was in the middle of the city. And then there's no doors in the bathroom. None. Like, they had a piece of plywood, like this big, that covered right where you would be sitting. Like, would cover you. And then there was dead flies everywhere.
Good old Ohio.
Horrible. It was horrible.
Nicole will look at me because she watches all these forensic files and like true crime shows and everything like that. And like I'll be sitting here watching it with her, like doing work or whatever, and it'll pop up going, "This man killed 4 people in a small town in rural Ohio." And she looks over at me and goes, "Fucking Ohio, what is wrong with you?" And I was like,
"Wait, I don't know if Santiago's still in here. He's from Ohio."
Yeah, Sandy's from Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
He knows how messed up we are. Ohio, and fun fact, anybody out there listening or listens to this again, fun fact, Ohio has the highest amount of haunted attractions than any other state.
It does. It also has the most Bigfoot sightings on the East Coast besides Washington, D.C.
I meant haunted attractions as to haunted houses.
Yeah.
Not like haunted historical locations. I'm talking haunted attractions, actors, things like that.
Okay.
And this is beating out California, Texas.
So if they're like
states
finding like mass murderers in the country and like that might be where Jason would be at. And then there's a haunted house. How do you know it's not Yeah, that would freak me out. Like, is it real? Is this person really going to come after me and kill me?
Yeah, a little bit.
Because wouldn't you, if you wanted to like mass murder someone, wouldn't you just like, oh, I'm going to go be an actor at a haunt?
There is a movie about that, and I can't remember what the name of it is, and I watched it, and it was actually about a haunted house, and the actors would actually take people and kill them. And I believe it was a Rob Zombie movie.
I believe
it was, but I don't think for some reason I don't think it was. But
because I've worked at a haunt. They didn't do a background check.
Nope.
No.
I've worked at many haunts in my life, and never once background check, no drug check, nothing like that.
Even if you don't want to work there, you just kind of walk in and pretend like you're cast. Like that's what's freaking me out about these haunts, because they could just be like serial killers.
See, I'm a paranormal investigator, and one of my, and I'll put this out there for anybody listening, one of my irrational fears are long, dark hallways with a lot of open doors. So me,
I can see that.
28 years in the paranormal field. And still, I'll look down a hallway and see a lot of open doors and be like, nah, fuck that. Nope, not going down there.
Kind of like walking down the hallways that, have you been to Trans-Allegheny?
Trans-Allegheny, Moundsville, OSR, all the places. Like
Waverly.
Madison Seminary, Waverly. Like, I'm just like looking at these hallways like, yeah, I'm not walking down there alone because I don't know what's going to come out of any of these doors. So if I have somebody with me, at least I have a buffer. Being like, nah, bitch, not today. Give me enough time to run. I don't have to be the fastest.
Because they could be hiding behind there.
Because
how many of these haunted locations, actual locations, not haunts, but the haunted locations are like home to like squatters.
Exactly. You know? That's the big thing. That's what a lot of the urbex peoples don't realize is like you're going to these locations that haven't been explored or anything like that. These, and no offense to anybody out there, and I know I've said that multiple times tonight, but the drug addicts, the junkies, the homeless, the squatters, who they're looking for shelter anywhere, especially come wintertime. Yeah. They're looking for anything and everything to keep their head under a roof. So how do you know you're not walking through something that somebody's living there or something like that?
Yeah.
So I walked into multiple
I don't know if
locations.
Lawrence is in here. He does the Urban X stuff. And he had an experience with some squatters. Like, he's been on an episode before, so go back and watch on YouTube with Lawrence. But he talks about that. Like he runs into them a lot.
There are times when I've run into it before myself, where I've actually been at a location and we thought we were chasing a phantom sound from somewhere, and it turned out to be an actual person that was just running from us because they thought they were going to get caught.
Yeah,
and it's like, no, you're fine. Like, we're just worried about our safety. Like, because
you're not going to kill us. We won't kill you.
Exactly. You don't know what some of these people are going to do.
No.
So,
at all.
That's one of the big things is like, as an investigator, regardless if it's a well-known establishment like Trans-Allegheny or Waverly or Moundsville or OSR, you don't know.
I've never been to Ohio State Reformatory, and that's where I want to be.
Oh, you need to go. You need to go.
What stories can you tell us from there? What have you experienced there? He's like, there's so much. How can I figure it out and tell you?
Well, you have to remember, where I grew up in Ohio, OSR was only 40 or 45 minutes away from where I lived.
Okay.
I actually volunteered on the Historical Society. I helped actually go in and clean that place up. The first time I ever investigated that location was in 1998. And it was 3 years after the prison closed down. So I was going in there with the Historical Society and cleaning up, like sweeping the floors. We were going through files. Like, there were files in there dating back to 1914, 1917. Wow. Things like that. Like there was somebody in jail there for horse thievery. Like, so going through these files and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going through these files. So the biggest thing, what they did with OSR, because people are stupid, like I always say, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. There was an incident that somebody was down in solitary confinement and decided, hey, I want to take a picture, closed the door, and was like peeking out the little hole in the thing. Well, they couldn't get the door open because, one, there's no power to the prison, at least to that part of the prison. Two, they weren't used by a lock and key system at that point. So they had to call a locksmith, and this person was in this solitary confinement cell for, I want to say, like 5 or 6 hours.
Oh my goodness.
Waiting for somebody to get them out. So the first thing that OSR did was actually remove all the doors from the solitary confinement.
Yeah. Because
with the normal cells, you can just grab a welder, cut off a couple bars, and person can climb out. Not a problem. But down on solitary, they cut off. They took off all the doors. It's a solid
door. It's like
yes, yeah, it's a solid steel door.
Solid steel door. Yeah,
they took off all the doors of solitary confinement, and I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. So I was walking down solitary confinement. It was getting close to like dark time, and I was kind of walking down by myself. And I'm looking in each cell as I go down because, of course, like an obvious person would, like checking every corner, making sure everything's okay. So the fluorescent light bulbs in the back of the cell that were covered by a caged light enclosure. So they're your normal, like 3-foot long fluorescent tubes. If anyone's ever seen like the fluorescent tubes or anything like that. So like I said before, there's no power going down to this part of the prison. They actually have extension cords running down there for like string lights that are hanging in the prison. I'm walking past each one of these cells and
I'm here. I can hear you. I'm looking for incense.
God, you need to sage me already? Okay.
No. I just like... Yeah, I kind of felt like energy. Like as you're talking about that, I felt like some energy and I needed to light my incense.
Well, you didn't even get the best part of it yet.
I know.
So the fluorescent tube light bulbs, half the light bulb was glowing.
Okay.
In each cell I walked past, each light bulb.
Every single one.
Every single one. And there's no power going down there. There should be no reason. And I looked at my dad and I was like,
so no power, half. What?
Yeah. That's just half. Intense. Just half. Like a 1.5-foot section of light bulb was just glowing. Ooh. I wasn't seeing, I may have been 13 years old, but I wasn't seeing shit.
Is Ohio State Reformatory the one that people say has all three, like alien, Bigfoot, and paranormal, or is that a different location? It's not Ohio State then.
It's not Ohio State. If you're talking about Jenny Gurney or Jenny Davis status, that would be is it Fairfield? Not is it Fairfield?
Whatever's close on here, yeah.
Whatever's closest to Billy Creek Village.
Okay,
I believe that might be Fairfield.
I know Ohio State also has a ton of alien sightings and Bigfoot, so that's why I didn't know if it was related. You're muted. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, train coming by again. No, actually, funny story about that is my dad was actually a sheriff's deputy for the state of Ohio for Mahoning County Sheriff's Department in Ohio, Northeast Ohio.
Okay.
And there was a call that came out one time in the 80s about a unidentified flying object. So him and his partner responded to where it was sighted, and they were looking and they saw something. They didn't know how to report it or anything like that. And they were like, we don't know what to do with this. And I remember my dad still to this day telling me that story. And I was like,
oh, wow.
And I've had my own UFO sighting before in the past, actually up here in Massachusetts at the USS Salem.
Okay.
So, but of course, though, up here where I live,
we got the UFO guy right here. So yeah,
we're right in the middle of the Bridgewater Triangle. So we have cryptids, we have UFO, we have Bigfoot, we have ghost, we have you know everything. So, but yeah, I remember my dad telling me that story, and I was just like, wow, that okay. Like I didn't know how to, like I was young, so I didn't know how to take it. So I was like, all right.
Yeah, that's what my kids tell me when I tell them things. They're like, okay.
Hey, your daughter's got a better head
Not my
on her
daughter.
than you think she does.
My daughter is, she's all on it. She's with it too. But my son's like, he's not into the paranormal field and the paranormal stuff and aliens and stuff like that. And he's like, okay.
Well, we need to change.
Like, why are there skeletons all over the house? Like, he just doesn't.
Just tell him the next time if you piss me off, you'll find out why.
These are all the people that have made me mad.
Yeah, exactly.
As I'm looking at my I have my life-size skeleton sitting right up there.
There you go. I want to get one. I want to get one of those medical ones that like stand up on the pole and everything.
Yes.
But I'm not allowed to.
Yes.
I don't have enough room in the place we're in right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, eventually one day I'll get one.
Eventually. And make it a goal. Life goals.
It is. I will own one.
Can you share us your story about the UFO sighting in Massachusetts?
So I was on, it was not necessarily how I met my wife, but I had met her a couple months prior, but they sent
her down.
They had liked me enough to invite me up from North Carolina to Massachusetts to come do an event up there. And I was on the USS Salem for 2 days. 2 days and nights. I actually slept on the ship.
Cool.
And there was a night we were investigating. I think it was the first night we were investigating. We were all up in the control room. And we walked out onto the front deck of it. And we were just sitting there, and we could see like a chapel off in the distance. And we're sitting there and we're watching this light. And I believe it was one of my friends that noticed it first. And they're like, what's that light? Is that a helicopter? And I'm like, I finally spotted it. And I'm watching it, and it's moving up, down, left, right, diagonal. And I'm like, that's not a way a helicopter moves at all. And I was like, okay. So we sat there, we videoed it. And somebody has the footage still of it. And actually, it's been sent off to Ben Hansen. And actually, the FAA has been contacted to see if there was any planes in the area, helicopters, anything like that. And they both came back and said negative.
Okay.
But like it was up, down, left, right, diagonal, going to the left, coming back to the right. And I'm just like
very erratic type behavior.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like we focused it on the chapel steeple to see kind of like a basis of how high it's up in the air and everything. Because I mean, this was in the early days. I mean, there could have been a drone out there, you know. This was back in, I believe, 2013, 2012.
Okay, drones are just coming out, yeah.
Yeah, so, but we're watching, and all of a sudden it just shoots down. And I'm like, it like literally right behind the church, the steeple, everything just shoots down. And then all of a sudden, straight up, and just disappears.
Holy crap.
And it's like,
wow.
Okay, where'd it go? Like we're all looking. There was probably about 6 of us up on that deck, And we're just looking around like, okay, where did it go? And didn't know anything. So that's what caused us to reach out to, Ben Hansen and, the FAA and everything. And
but even that, I'm not discrediting your viewing, but even if the FFA, they were doing stuff, the government was doing private stuff, testing.
True.
They wouldn't tell you, but
that's not public knowledge.
But still, that doesn't sound even like some of their testing stuff. That sounds very erratic.
I mean, if they were testing drones back in that day, I would get that. That's fine. But still, it was never confirmed.
Too fast.
It was never denied. So it was one of those things where we don't know what to tell you, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I mean, that would be one of my.
Just elaborate on
it. Yeah. It's the one good thing the government's for is elaborating on things.
They elaborate on what they want us to know and don't.
And what they want us to believe.
Yeah. A lot of control there. A lot of different control. Yeah, we had something similar, like very kind of erratic. It was kind of going back and forth. It wasn't doing the up and down. It was kind of, but it was blinking in and out. It was like coming in and out, and then just the one to starve you. Yeah, you tell the story better than I do.
Oh, it was me, Stacey, and my oldest son. We were sitting on the porch. Wasn't dark. It was like dusk, but still you could see everything.
Yep.
And we seen this light coming in, like Stacey sitting this way, I'm sitting this way, my son's sitting this way. So the light was coming in on an angle this way, and it was moving pretty fast. You know what I mean? Yeah. There was no helicopter, no plane, but all of a sudden, after none of us admitted at the time, we didn't say, hey, look at that. We were all just watching it in amazement and never said anything to each other. But then all of a sudden it made this almost 90. Like it kind of went not like a 90, but really sharp. A little bit of radius to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit of radius. And at this time, we're all still, three of us are watching it. And we didn't say nothing to each other. And then you see it because we're all like, probably like, what the fuck?
Eventually, I get my phone out.
And then the light kind of like, I think it got bigger.
Yeah, it got bigger.
It got bigger, and that's when we're like, "Hey, check that out!" And we're all like, "Yeah, we've been watching." We realized we all been watching it, and then it just. I said to Stacey, I said, "Get your camera and video it." And about the time she did it, pulled it out, and pulled her phone up, it
went
just went and vanished.
I'm running around the house trying to catch it.
And it's
gone. Going out like front of the house.
And then the light just vanished.
Yeah.
Just dissipated, like gone.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of it, and you did send it. I think actually.
Yo.
Hey, what are we doing?
You want to play? Go outside and play.
Sorry. Children running up and down the stairs like they're elephants.
So not to take this in a somber moment or anything like that, but I did post something on my Facebook page earlier today. Today marks the anniversary of a loss of one of the great people in the paranormal field, Mr. Scott Grunwald.
Mr. Scott Grunwald, I know. And
1 year ago today.
He was, I don't know if we've only met, we've only met him once. I only got the pleasure once. But I've seen so much and seen so many videos and seen so much stuff. He just was a very unique individual that just spread happiness.
He is one of a kind, like 100% one of a kind. He's never going to be forgotten. His legacy still lives on, just like we did at the Bash this year. We have every year we have an in memoriam to people that have passed away.
Yeah.
And Scott was supposed to be at the Bash this year.
He was.
He actually had already booked with Pam and Steve. And unfortunately, things did not work out the way they were supposed to. But I remember talking to them.
They did work out the way they were supposed to, but
yeah.
I believe in universal design. Yeah.
I remember talking to him 2 days before he passed.
Did you really? Just 2 days? Okay.
Because I was, I mean, I talk to him quite often. It would be an everyday thing with me and him. And he is one of the most kindest, gentlest, most genuine, unapologetic. He doesn't give a shit what he says.
It's true.
And he will tell you outright if you're being an idiot. Plain and simple. And he I mean, we lost a lot of good people this year. We lost Scotty, we lost Holly, we lost Scott, we lost, so many people out there. And, all the people out there, I'm praying for you. I mean, Chris Fleming is right now going through cancer.
I know.
So praying for him.
And then Daniel's daughter.
Dan's daughter. Yep. And when she's doing, from what the updates I've seen, she's doing fantastic.
It is. It does. It looks like everything is going great.
Great news. And Shaylee, if you're watching, or Dan, if you're watching, guess what? I told you we'd be back.
I know. I was actually noticing that just a while ago. Like, you're growing back really good.
Yep. So I'm gonna have to start wearing a hat because my hair started to blow out on the sides. So I'm starting to get wings.
Well, you should shave the side and go with the mohawk thing.
Nah, I can't go with the mohawk.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's one of those things. Yeah. So so.
But what you did was great, and I think Stacey Leigh. I'm horrible at pronouncing last names, but she said that she's growing her hair because she's going to shave it next year at the bash.
I'll do it again next year at the bash too. I don't care.
Your yearly haircut.
Yeah, exactly. Who needs a haircut when I can get it done for free? Especially raise money for a good cause. And
I know you can get paid to get your haircut. Well, you don't get paid, but you raise money. Yeah.
And the good thing about it is I just saw that Pam and Steve posted that John Buckland, West Virginia Batman,
he
just
replaced his engine. Yeah.
Had all the engine parts updated on his car. So that's going to be up and running for a long time to come. So that's fantastic. But I also want to, I want to give a big shout out to everybody out there that have supported the bash, Para Unity, Penhurst Paracon, also the people out there that are stuck in that. I am not a drama person whatsoever, and I believe in supporting everybody. I have that karmic effect. If you've never done wrong to me, I'm not going to do wrong to you.
Yeah.
But the Get Haunted events out there, and I know Get Haunted is kind of a hot topic right now on a lot of people's lists, but they have some great events coming up, and there's definitely some great people coming in. The Warren's Paracon out in Gettysburg, which I know is a touchy subject. But they also have
the same weekend I'll be at the Supernatural. Yeah.
Yep, the Supernatural soiree up in Camden, New Jersey. Get Haunted's putting on. So I mean, there's a lot of great events. Also, I'm part of up here in Massachusetts. I'm part of Warner Paranormal World Preservation Society.
Yes.
Don't know why I started
there, events.
But we actually have an event coming up on November 3rd and 4th. It's called the East Coast Para Expo, and we actually are shining a light on those lesser known names, and we're going to be dealing with topics from witchcraft to cryptozoology to UFO to paranormal to everything. It's our second year that we've run this event, and it is an absolutely fantastic event.
Where do you guys do that at?
It's actually called the Harstuff Hall, right in Rockland, Massachusetts.
Okay. Rockland, Massachusetts. Okay.
Rockland, Massachusetts. I've tried to get you up here for a couple of the events up here. You should come up.
I know.
Times.
I would. And I thought about it this year. But
you do great as a reader.
Prepare Unity, so.
Yeah, you do great.
I need to get up there. I need to get up there. I do. Now, in Massachusetts in general, I know I was going to do an event up there. Like, does Massachusetts, you have to have a license to be a reader, right? Is it just certain
only
areas
in Salem?
Up there?
Only in Salem.
Okay. All right. And that I was going to do the Salem Paracon. So that's the one I had to get.
That was the one you would need a license for. Yeah. Out here we have, at the expo itself, we have 8 readers.
Okay.
And whether it be from past life regression to tarot to anything like that, we have it all mixed in. So there's definitely a lot of options for it. We have some great vendors. We have some great lectures. You know, the big thing about it is we don't bring in those big name celebrities or things like that. We let the little people shine. And I don't say little people.
The event that I was just at, not little people, the up and comers.
Yes, yeah. I don't like. I said, the ones that don't get the attention.
Yeah.
So you know, it's one of those things that we do our best to try to get those people in the spotlight and, you know, give them the best they can.
Yes, I think Gary's giving me the cue here that he's ready to go to bed.
All right. Well, I'll ask you one question before we get off.
Gary, you got it. He's going to ask us a question before we get off. You got to come out for this one.
What?
Did you lose your mic?
Especially with him being a horror fan, I got to ask you this question.
You're a horror fan.
Yeah, but I'm not good with movies. I'm a horror fan, but go ahead.
This has been debated multiple times. Who would be on your Mount Rushmore of horror characters?
Ooh, okay.
4 faces. 4 faces.
You know what my answer's going to be to you on that, and you know what I'm going to say.
I know what you're going to say, but go ahead. You say it.
Hold on. You're going to have to let me think about that.
He doesn't answer those type of questions right away. He will literally probably tomorrow message you and give you
be like, this is what it is.
Yeah. He's going to think about it, and he will think about it, and then he will message you.
Because if I could give you like 4 or 2 now, I'll change my mind. I'll
3
think
o'clock
about
in the
it.
morning. He's going to message
work,
me
doing
being like,
work,
son of a bitch.
Think about work. Mm-hmm. My brain just goes off in other places, and I'll be like, okay, there's one.
I think Michael Myers would definitely be one of mine.
Yeah, him.
Pennywise, obviously.
You know that Nightmare on Elm Street, dude. You like
Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
And
like them. You know, you're Jason.
But then
you're like, Friday the 13th.
Going back to
Nightmare
like
on Elm
people,
Street.
Like, what about like Chucky? What about like? I guess Chucky would be small, but I don't know. There's so many.
I don't know.
There are because
Stephen King.
Yeah, I mean any Stephen King character up there. I mean, well, like Stacey said, Pennywise. Like
Pennywise, that's Stephen King.
Yeah, that's one of his best well-known novels. Mm-hmm. Like
it is.
I'd have to think about that. I think that's a tough question. I really do.
Because
you're talking actors, not producers, right?
No, we're talking characters.
Faces, the characters.
Characters.
I mean, you have your normals, you have your Jasons, your Michaels, your Freddys, you know, things like that.
Well, Elm Street, Hellraiser, Pinhead.
Oh, Pinhead, yeah.
Okay, Pinhead. Doug Bradley.
Mm-hmm. Leatherface. You got Leatherface too.
You got Leatherface tossed in there.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would probably say they're my top 2. Like the other 2, I'd have to ponder on.
Pinhead and who else?
Pinhead and Freddy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you're never gonna beat another character than Robert Englund as Freddy. Like, I mean, it's been tried, it's been done, and there's never been.
In the way they did him up, you know what I mean? They did him up perfect. You know, that was like, that was good.
Yeah,
that would be the consistency of the character.
And you got Hannibal Lecter too. Like, I didn't think about that. I mean, he's more of a real life.
Yeah.
True. Crime.
So shooting off from this one here. So Netflix just released obviously I'm sure you've watched Monster, the story of Jeffrey Dahmer. They released on Netflix, the miniseries.
Yes.
So there is a season 2 coming up. Season 3, I don't remember, but it's going to be based on Ed Gein. It's going to be based
character. Do you know their names? You don't know their names.
It's hard.
Got one.
Based on Ed Gein. No,
based
wow.
On,
yeah, that.
And movies or games?
Movies.
Movies. We're not talking Five Nights at Freddy's or
We're not talking Five
Poppy's
Nights at Freddy's.
Playhouse.
Or Poppy's Playhouse. She can't hear you, so I have to.
Okay. And by the reaction on her face, I know exactly where she was going.
Annabelle or
Annabelle. That's more
or Jason.
Jason. Okay. You were Jason once one year, weren't you?
No.
Or your brother was. Okay.
I was not.
No, I was talking.
I will accept Jason as an answer.
Okay. You will accept Jason as an answer.
No, so so in the first the first series, Evan Peters played Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yes.
Which he did a fantastic job. I mean,
you know the rainbow crystal balls they have?
And I'm going to say this right now. Jeffrey Dahmer's from Ohio. He lived 30 minutes from where I used to live.
Oh.
His family home was literally, I drove past it multiple times. But they have cast Charlie Hunnam, who is Jackson Teller from Sons of Anarchy, to play Ed Gein.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I will. Okay, yeah. So while we're on air, I will send you a picture of this side-by-side comparison. And okay. I was not convinced until I saw this picture.
Okay. All right. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm going to present real quick. And you're going to see everything for a minute until I go over here. Okay. There we go. Yeah. That's Sons of Anarchy right there.
Yep.
It's almost like they have the same facial expression and everything. Like their heads.
Facial expression, the jawline, everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty.
And they did perfect with Evan Peters as Jeffrey Dahmer. Just like they did. Just like they did perfect with Zac Efron and Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
But my adieu to you. I will leave you guys.
He is leaving. He's walking out the door. He's like, I'm going to bed.
I don't blame him.
I appreciate you coming now. Yeah. We had a long drive yesterday and we're both very exhausted. But we couldn't do the podcast last night. So we had planned on today doing the podcast, and everything happens for a reason. So, and tonight we got to have you on. So it was great.
Well, I appreciate you having me on. I really do. And
I did. I sat here and I'm looking through my messages and like, who can I ask to get on? And I'm like, oh, Russ is so busy right now. And he's not even doing his own podcast because you were the first person I was going to ask.
Well, I said, always send me a message. I'm always a message away. If I can't do it, all I can say is no.
I will. It was a fun conversation. It was really cool conversation.
It was. It really was. Next time we'll get in a little more deeper.
Definitely. This night was very light. It was a very light, fun conversation after a very intense full moon yesterday.
Exactly. So, that's what everybody needed.
So good luck with the rest of the season in the store and not driving yourself crazy. Remember, take care of yourself. Do what you got to do. I'm sad that your podcast isn't going to be on until you're done, but
I just kind of have to take a little time for myself. I had to choose between coming home from work at 7:00 at night and eating dinner and then jumping right on a podcast, or spending time with the wife and eating dinner. So I chose
your family's more important. Yeah.
Yes.
You are. So if anybody doesn't know, Russ, actually, you know what? I actually still have your thing on here. Can you hear me still?
I can.
Okay. I cannot hear you because my earbud just died. So,
okay.
Nope, that's not it. Is it? Yeah, it is. We're just going to skip over that part. Yes. So this is Russ, Compass of Curiosities. This is his podcast. He was on here recently. Please go check him out. Check out his webpage. I cannot hear anything you're saying, Russ, because my earpieces died. So I appreciate everyone for coming on tonight. This is where you can find Compass of Curiosities. Definitely on the network. If he's talking, yes, tell them where they can find you, because
anybody that's listening, I was just mocking her and just having fun with her.
Oh, are you kicking me off now?
No, I can't hear because you walked away with the earpiece.
Oh. All right. Good night, y'all.
Good night, Gary.
Okay.
Can you hear
It's
me
like
now?
we split the earpieces. He walked out, so I stopped hearing too. Yes.
Okay, so that whole me thing, like talking, I was just making fun of you.
Figures.
No, you can find me Compass Curiosities. I'm on the Get Haunted Network.
I know this is an old thing where
it's an
you're
old
just
flyer.
not doing Compass.
I still support Unturned Pages. Jenny
Yes.
has a great thing going over there. You can check out all the episodes on Facebook Live, Audible, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, anywhere podcasts are available. You can also check out my show, Compass Curiosities. It airs Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Same places, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Google Music, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, things like that. So definitely check that out. I am taking a hiatus until I want to say mid-November because with me being a store manager for Spirit Halloween, life takes over and I am going to be required to work for 50 to 55 hours a week right now at this point. So
Spirit
I don't have
Halloween,
much personal
that takes your
time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I do know if you're looking for guests, I know Danielle and Shauna would be a great. They were on one here. If you were looking to get some guests, I would definitely reach out to them. So I think they'd be great on.
Of course, I'm gonna start booking guests probably mid-November out till like January, February. So definitely.
That sounds awesome, and we do miss you. We do miss seeing you on Monday nights. Sunday nights, it's so hard to watch Unturned Pages, but I know by Mondays, I'm able to stay up a little bit longer, and I usually try to catch at least part of yours.
Sunday's hard
and
for
then
everyone.
And then listen to it. I've listened to yours in the car, a lot, probably more than I do watch it on live. Because
hey, listens and still listens. All right.
Exactly. So thanks again for joining us. And thank you all for commenting, for being here, for sharing, for the stars that you've sent. We wouldn't be able to do this without you. So I thank you and I appreciate all of the fans that are watching. And remember to fill your cup first. You cannot pour from an empty cup.